It is almost a new month. I'm so excited. A little bit nervous because if you are like me and you're a teacher, you're about to go back to school. So I have August 10th as my teachers go back day. So my TBR for August is always a little iffy because, well, I don't know exactly how much I'm going to read in August. Some Augusts are still like really powerful and great TBR months because I'm still really into reading and going back isn't as bad and I get my time done during my contract hours. Sometimes I don't get as much done and my kids are in sports. So I'm going to have a total of 10 books because I want to still be able to do plenty of mood reading and give myself some wiggle room this August to still be able to make videos and upload and know that it might be a little bit finicky. So let's first talk about what books I know I'm going to read. Go turn around. Totally Sea Lake. Just that was quite the movement. So first of all, I did not finish the Book of Doors for my Goodreads challenge. I couldn't get the mood for it. I'm like so ready for it that I think I'm going to probably start the month for it. But the Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. I know I've already done this in a TBR. It is a fantasy. It's kind of a mystery fantasy. I've talked about it quite a bit. I'm really excited. A lot of people love this book. So just like I normally do, but I've done it and talked about it so much, I am still going to read the first sentence because I love the first sentence of books. In Kellner Books on the Upper East Side of New York City, a few minutes before his death, John Weber was reading The Count of Monte Cristo. So I'm so excited. I am so excited to read this book. I'm finally ready. July just was not a fantasy month for me. It was very thriller heavy. And so I just was really in a thriller mood. And you know what? That's okay. Like, this is why Goodreads challenges, it gives me until the middle of September. So I even have time, but I'm finally back in my fantasy, like ready for fantasy. So I think I'm ready for it. For my book clubs, I started a book club. It's a whole story. I'm probably going to make a video or at least a short about it. But I started a thriller book club. Long story. But our thriller book club book of the month is Love Mom by Ileana Alexander. I wanted to read this for months. It's been on my shelf. I might have even mentioned it in a couple of videos. If you go back, back. I was going back and forth on what we should read for the first month. I was just going to pick it. And I had like this whole long list. I was talking to my friend about it who was like helping me pick. And then one night I was getting out of my bed to go to the bathroom and finish up, go to sleep. And I saw this on my shelf and it was like, oh, this is the book. If you can't tell how excited I am for August and to do TBR, I'm so excited. Didn't even talk about my shirt. My shirt, so many books, so little time. This is how August feels. I'm in that like Sunday night scaries part of the summer where it's about to be back to work. So, and if you hear thunder, it's because it's like cozy raining storm right now. Perfect to talk about books weather. Perfect reading weather. I'm going to go read after this video. But Love Mom. So the blurb on this is a best-selling author, a mother, a murderer. Basically, this girl is known for being a brilliant student, but her mom is a murder mystery writer and her mom dies in an accident. And not everybody is convinced that it was an accident. After the funeral, she gets a letter, supposedly from her mom, saying that things are not as they may have been. They may have seemed from her mom. And inside of this letter are pages of her mom's diary that start with, "Want to know a secret? Love Mom." And as more and more letters come, and it seems that mom may have had a few secrets of her own. It ends with, "Sometimes fame is worth a murder or worse." Let's read the first sentence. Can you see? This is going to be... The reviews on this are so good. Okay, the first sentence. Mackenzie. You'll probably never see another memorial service like this one without a single tear shed. So if you're interested in reading this book with my book club, let me know. Like online, I would be totally down. I am so excited to read this book. Everybody that was like... There was 2 people that have already read it, and they were like, it is such a good plot twisty book. And everybody else was so excited to read it. I am so excited to read it. Okay. For my Read Your Bookshelf challenge from Chantel Reads All Day, I will link her down below. The challenge for August is water. I really struggled with July. It has a map in it. And I ended up reading a nonfiction because I struggled because I wasn't in fantasy. And that's so much of what has a map in it. And the 1 month I need to read fantasy, I was not a fantasy mindset at all. But this one, I was just walking around the library and was looking for something for a different video and came across this book. And I like Sharon Bolton a lot. And I was like, I hadn't heard of this book. And so I picked it up. And then I was like, ooh, it has water on the cover. It's set in like this tiny island, remote Antarctic island of South Georgia. And it has water on the cover, and I really want to read it. And so I'm going to cut that as my water book. The remote Antarctic island of South Georgia is about to send off its last boat of the summer, which signifies safety to resident glaciologist, sorry if I said that wrong, Felicity Lloyd. Felicity lives in fear that her ex-husband Freddie will find her even out here. She took a job on this isolated island to hide from him. But now that he's out of prison, having served a term for murder, she knows he won't give up till he finds her. But a doctor delving into the background of Felicity and Freddie's relationship back in Cambridge, I mean, love British thrillers. Love them. Learns that Felicity has been on the edge for a long time. Heading to South Georgia himself to try to get to her first is the only way he can think of to help her. Tense, gripping, and with a twist you won't see coming, The Split is an explosive new standalone thriller. Love Sharon Bolton. Love The Craftsman. Super excited about this book. So this is going to be my water. And now my regular book club is doing Lady Tremaine. I am not counting that in my 10 books because I'm doing it like on Kindle and I don't count my Kindle books. I know. I have a weird way of doing things in my head. I don't have it yet. I'm doing it on Kindle. It doesn't really sound that great to me. I know everybody loves it. I know. But in my head, it's not counting right this time. I don't have it. I'm doing it on Kindle. Anyway. So I have 3 out of 10. Now, in my book club that I started, because I set the rules and I'm doing something different, we are pulling TBR cards. Yes, pulling TBR cards. And you can do an optional second book based off a TBR card. And other people can do a drawing. Since I started it, I'm not. But the TBR card, you can pick a thriller based off of that. And the TBR card was Ugly Cover. So for an ugly cover thriller, I was really not sure what I was going to do. But I really want to do the puppet show. I really do. I've talked about this so many times. I've come this close in July, but I had a kind of slower month. Not as many 5 stars, not many great books. Because I've talked about this so many times, I'm not it's a British serial killer that's come highly recommended. I really want to read it. So the first sentence is Tilly Bradshaw had a problem. I'm really excited, but really the cover, really, I think it counts for my so this is for book club. So they have we can do an optional second thriller based off this, and this is one ugly cover. So this is going to be mine. So that's 4. So for my book clubs required, this is what I've got. So, okay, so the first one we're going to do is the scratch offs. Now these are books that have been on my shelf for a while. Sometimes I catch one that I've already read and then we redo it. But these are books that have been on my shelf for a while, and I'm just going to pull 2 and then I'll pick which one I'm going to do, and I put those on my TBR. Okay, so I have historical fiction or thriller. I've got quite a few thrillers. I've been doing a lot of thrillers, so I'm going to pick a historical fiction. And I'm going to scratch it off. I guess it's not scratching well. Girls of Good Fortune. Yes, Girls of Good Fortune. Okay. I've been thinking about that book lately, and it just hasn't fit prompts, and I've kind of been like, so that's a good one. Okay, Girls of Good Fortune. I have that here. It is so pretty, and it's got these beautiful edges. Girls of Good Fortune by Christina McMorris. She came from a lineage known for good fortune by those who don't know the whole story. Oregon, 1888. Amid the subterranean labyrinth of Portland's notorious Shanghai tunnels, a woman awakens in an underground cell drugged and disguised. Celia soon realizes she's shanghaied, victim on the verge of being shipped off as forced labor, leaving behind those she loves most. Although well accustomed to adapting for survival, being half Chinese, passing as white during an era fraught with anti-Chinese sentiment, she fears that far more than her own fate hangs in the balance. As she pieces together the twisting path that led to her abduction. If I want to read books, I have to read. From serving as a maid for the family of a dubious mayor to becoming entwined in the case of gold miners' massacre, revelations emerge of a child left in peril. Desperate, Celia must find a way to escape and return to a place where unearthed secrets could prove deadlier than the dark recesses of Chinatown. I've heard good things about this book, and that sounds really intriguing. So let's do the first sentence, because I'm excited. Okay. Prologue. No, first sentence of chapter 1. Dirt. Just says dirt. Okay, we're going to go to the second sentence. See if it... The damp, earthy scent of it was the first thing she registered. Okay. Okay. I've been kind of putting this one off because I kind of got it for the way it looks. And I was like, oh, Chinatown, Oregon. Cool. I'm really excited. This one might be the one I'm most excited about. Okay, so I'm at 5. So I'm going to pull 5 TBR cards today. I get so excited for this. Each month I'm like, is it TBR card time? Is it TBR card time? I get so irrationally excited. This is the thing, though. I keep forgetting about the top 2 shelves of my bookshelf. I do. The top shelf is nonfiction, and I want to read a nonfiction this month. I want it to be on my TBR. So if I have to, I'm going to pause the video and pull it from the nonfiction so y'all don't see all of my backside. And I want to get from this shelf. I do. So this is going to happen because I forget. Out of sight, out of mind. Okay, we're doing this thing. And I also forget about like my classics. So we're doing a thing. 5 TBR cards. Shuffling. So excited. Okay. I'm going to pull 2 cards, I think, each and decide which card I want to do. 2 cards. A red book or same color as my shirt, which is black. I think black. Black's going to be harder. Okay. I'm going to look behind me. Black. I know what I want. I can do this. And this has both in it. I got Firekeeper's Daughter. I have not read it. I've heard nothing but good things. I'm adding it to August. It is a chunky book. It's a little bit chunky. And I know it's a little emotional, which can be good because it's distracting going back to school, and it can be hard going back to school. I'm doing it. I'm adding it. I really wanted to read this book for so long. And it's got black and red. So it meets both prompts, which I think is really cool. Okay, so that's number 6, A Firekeeper's Daughter. Okay. So I'm going to take out both of these cards because I met both of them. And do the next 2. We're going to go for there and there. What do they say? Owned for over a year or another scratch-off card. Do I want to do another scratch-off card? You know what? The last scratch-off card did really well for me. I'm going to do another scratch-off card. Okay. Another scratch-off card. Thriller or another historical fiction? Let's do a thriller today. Let's do a thriller. Whoops. Okay, I've already read this. I accidentally did the historical fiction, and I've already read it. So we're going to... It's Not Her. Well, I've been meaning to read this one, and I've been putting it off. Neither of these are giving. I'm pulling a different one. I'm doing it because I can. Just neither of them were giving. Okay, so we're going to do this one. I Found You. I Found You? Do I have that? What is this? I Found You? I don't recognize this book. Oh, I Found You and I wanted to read that this month. I Found You by Lisa Jewell, and I really wanted to read that this month. It was on my, I have this list of, I hope I pull it this month, and that was one of them. Perfect. I Found You by Lisa Jewell. It's an older Lisa Jewell book, and it's like a beachy summary read, and it's kind of thinner, which I like. Okay, In a windswept British seaside town of Ridinghouse Bay, single mom Alice Lake finds a man sitting on the beach. He has no name and no idea how he got there. Meanwhile, in a London suburb, newlywed Lily Monrose grows anxious when her husband fails to return home from work. But the police soon deliver even more disturbing news. The man she married never truly existed. 23 years earlier, Gray and Kirsty Ross are teenagers on a summer holiday with their parents. The annual trip to Ridinghouse Bay is uneventful until an enigmatic young man starts paying extra attention to Kirsty. Something about him makes Gray uncomfortable, and it's not just because he's a protective older brother. Who is the man on the beach? Where is Lily's missing husband? And whatever happened to the man who made such a lasting impression on Gary? I've heard it's good. And it's like seaside British. I'm really excited. Okay. First sentence, folks. Alice Lake lives in a house by the sea. Okay. So that's number 7, right? Yes. So 3 more. You know, we're doing pretty good. Okay, I'm going to put Own for a Year back in because I could do that one again. Shuffle a little more. Shuffle a little, and then we'll see what we get next. Okay, so we have 3 left. So let's see. I'm going to pull 2. 1, 2. Okay, a black author or a blue cover. A black author or a blue cover. I got a black author, and it's a book I've been wanting to read, When No One Is Watching. I've been wanting to read this. It's got really mixed reviews because it's about gentrification. And it's got mixed reviews, but I think because people are uncomfortable with it, and I'm hoping I'm going to really enjoy it. So I'm going to try it. Sydney Green is Brooklyn born and raised, but her beloved neighborhood seems to change every time she blinks. Condos are sprouting up like weeds, for sale signs are popping up overnight, and the neighbors she's known all her life are disappearing. To hold on to her community, past and present, Sydney channels her frustration into a walking tour, finds an unlikely and unwanted assistant, one of the new arrivals on the block, her neighbor Theo. But Sydney and Theo's deep dive into history quickly becomes a dizzying descent into paranoia and fear. Their neighbors may not have moved to the suburbs after all, and the push to revitalize the community may be more deadly than advertised. So it's a black author, Alyssa Cole, and it's a blue book. That's pretty cool. Okay, first sentence. And I'm still participating in 1 million books by black authors, so that's perfect. History is bleeping wild. You know, oh, that's the prologue, but it's so true. As a history teacher, that is so true. So I love that opening line. Okay, first chapter, first one. I spent deepest winter shuffling back and forth between work and hospital visits and doctor's appointments. As somebody with chronic illnesses and disability, been there, done that, hate that, do it all the time. I think I'm going to really enjoy this. Sounds like it's irreverent, sounds like it's great. I'm excited. Okay, so I'm going to, since I did both of these cards, I'm going to retire them. I don't want to just have 2 more books, but I'm going to. Okay. 2 more cards. I'm going to pick the bottom one, I think. A diverse author, which can be like any minority of any kind, or an intimidating book. Okay. A book that intimidates me. I've really been wanting to do this one. I've been wanting to read Fountains of Silence. It's chunky, but I have mostly non-chunky books, except for Firekeeper. And I've really been wanting to read this one before I start teaching about it. And it's been on my shelf for a while. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't think Ruta Sepetys is considered a diverse author, but she does have a pretty impressive life. But this is a book that intimidates me. And has intimidated me for a very long time. So I'm going to use August to do hard things. Fountains of Silence, Madrid, 1957. Under the impressive dictatorship of General Francisco Franco, Spain is hiding a dark secret. Meanwhile, tourists and foreign businessmen fled into Spain under the welcoming promise of sunshine and wine. Among them is 18-year-old Daniel Matheson, the son of an oil tycoon who arrives in Madrid with his parents, hoping to connect with the country of his mother's birth through the lens of his camera. Photography and fate introduce him to Ana, whose family's interweaving obstacles reveal the lingering grasp of the Spanish Civil War, as well as chilling definitions of fortune and fear. Daniel's photographs leave him with an uncomfortable question amidst shadows of danger. He is backed into a corner of difficult decisions to protect those he loves. First sentence. Okay, it takes a while to get the first sentence. They stand in line for blood. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the hard thing. I'm going to do a book that intimidates me. I have them like all together. I'm going to do a book that intimidates me. Okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I have to admit, I took a break for like a minute. My son, my 13-year-old, he's almost 14. Oh my gosh. Brought me a cup of coffee in my St. Augustine mug. It's a very interesting mug. But he makes the best cup of coffee. French press. It's amazing. So I'm having my cup of coffee. Join me. Grab a cup of coffee if you need to. And I remembered that I wanted to do a nonfiction. So I'm going to add both of these nonfictions because I'm not sure which one I want to read. Maybe both. I'm just going to put them in my TBR pile because then they're like at the front of my brain. And I use my TBR pile to pull from. So I'm thinking about them. So they are A History of the World in 21 Women. I've read A History of the United States in 21 Women, and I thoroughly liked it. I put it in my classroom. Again, my classroom is joint history and English. And so I have a whole classroom library. And it's 14, 15-year-olds. So I'm going to read this one and see if I like it. If I like it as much. There's also A History of Britain in 21 Women, which I have. I haven't read that one yet. Y'all, it is like the perfect rainy afternoon for a cup of coffee. Okay. So History of the World and 21 Women by Jenny Murray. It's got some really neat women in it. Coco Chanel, Toni Morrison, Wangari Maathai, Catherine the Great, Artemisia Gentileschi. I should know these names. I've read them. I just haven't said them out loud. And so for this one, I am going to read the first sentence from the introduction because it's the author talking. Okay, Thomas Carlyle, famous and greatly respected 19th century Scottish philosopher. I'm going to quote you again with the purpose this time of completely demolishing what are probably the best known few words you ever said. The history of the world is but the biography of great men. Wrong, wrong, wrong. And this time I have the whole wide world with which to prove how utterly mistaken you are and were even in your own time. It's a long run-on sentence, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put this because I'm going back to school. I want this reminder. I'm going to put this with my TBR. I also got, I made my first Second and Charles trip. If you don't know what Second and Charles is, it's this like used bookstore chain. And I got Born a Crime by Trevor Noah. It's such a short book. I feel like I could read it. Also, this is like a mini blurb announcement, but I'm doing my first readathon reading vlog. I'm doing 8 hours because I want to start there for my first one, not like 12, 24. I don't think I can do that. I'm doing 8 hours. And so I need a bunch of options. I probably mood read some too. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. So I need to start strong. And that's going to start the 1st of August or like the beginning of August. It's the first weekend of August I'm doing this. But I wanted to put these two. I may not get both of them read, but I wanted them both as options for my TBR. So excited for Trevor Noah's book, Born a Crime. I feel like a lot of people know about this, but this is the story of his life in South Africa. I don't even know where this description is, but I feel like so many people have heard of it. Compelling, inspiring, comically sublime story of one man's coming of age set during the twilight of apartheid and tumultuous days of freedom that followed. So the first sentence is, the genius of apartheid was convincing people who were the overwhelming majority to turn on each other. Oh, wait, that was the prologue. I'm always doing that. Okay, here's the first sentence. Sometimes in big Hollywood movies, they'll have these crazy chase scenes where somebody jumps or gets thrown from a moving car. I mean, true. So I'm really excited about this one. Okay, now, one more TBR card. One more. I hate when it gets to one more. I just want to keep going. You know, I might film some shorts where it's like, what's the next one? And I definitely am at least going to do one TBR card during my readathon. Y'all, I'm a little bit nervous about this readathon. If you've done like a readathon reading vlog, give me some suggestions in the comments, please. Like, how did you do it? Because this is my first and I'm nervous. So like, I need like your tips and tricks because I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a lot nervous, okay? But I'm going to do it. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Okay, ready? So we're going to pull 2 cards. And I've decided I'm going to pull cards. I want to get books off this shelf because I keep forgetting about it. I really do. Like, I really do. So I'm going to try for that shelf. Okay. Let's see if one of these 2 prompts does it for me. Matches a bookmark or has "of" in the title. I mean, I have some bookmarks. Let's see if I can match a bookmark. If I just pull it out at random. Okay, keep drawing. When one book closes, another opens. Well, I feel like this kind of like the goldishness matches Canticle. I feel like just the vibes, the mystic vibes. That, I don't really want to read Daughters of Egypt, but it also could match this. No, I feel like this definitely matches better. We're going to do this one. Daughters of Egypt by Marie Benedict. Yeah, that's definitely it. Right there. Right there. Daughters of Egypt by Marie Benedict. And I love me some Marie Benedict, and this is the only one I haven't read yet. I'm not a big Egypt person. Like, not that I don't love the country. Like, ancient Egypt. I've never, you know, a lot of girls go, especially history people, go through that ancient Egypt phase. I didn't. I don't know why. But I'm going to put the bookmark in the book. So I use this bookmark when I read the book. Okay. Marie Benedict's Daughters of Egypt. It's so pretty, though. In the 1920s, archaeologist Howard Carter and Lord Carnarvon of Highclere Castle made headlines around the world with the discovery of the treasure-filled tomb and the boy pharaoh Tutankhamun. But behind it all stood Lady Evelyn Herbert, daughter of Lord Carnarvon. I'm sorry. I do love the strength as a woman behind the man, whose daring spirit and relentless curiosity made the momentous find possible. Nearly 3,000 years earlier, another woman defied the expectations of her time, Hatshepsut. I do love Hatshepsut. I do. And oh, maybe I should read the War Queens. Okay, you know what? We're not doing History of the World and 21 Women. I'm going to read War Queens instead. Because I think Hatshepsut's in here, and that would be such good research for this book, right? Is Hatshepsut in here? If it is, I'm doing it. I think Hatshepsut is. No, maybe not. My nose itches. Okay. I don't know. It just says like their description. It doesn't tell me who they are. This is going to get really annoying. Okay, there's Boudica. Oh, I might have to read this when I read Boudica too. Why is this so much like Temesia? This is gonna have to. Doesn't have to touch it. Okay, but I am gonna read the War Queen at some point. Okay, so I'm sticking with this one. I'm sticking with this one. I'm sticking with it. Sticking with it this time, but War Queens is coming for us all. Okay, back to this. That was a moment. Her reign was bold, visionary, and nearly erased from history. We're on this one again. When Evelyn becomes obsessed with finding Hatshepsut's secret tomb, she risks everything to uncover the truth about her. And look at this cover page. Isn't that pretty? Okay, and the first sentence. There we go. The saloon glows in the flicker of the candelabras and the low light of ornate wall sconces. My nose. My great aunt used to say that means unexpected company's coming. So that is going to be a really good lineup. I'm really excited. That's 11 books, and I think that that's a really good amount for August. I have some really good books lined up. So this is like half of them. I can't grab the other half. That's a lot of books to hold. I have a lot of red, I noticed. I'm really excited. So this is Katie. This is my August TBR, like half of it. And remember, always bring a book, especially if you have 11 books in your TBR.